not comply. Words to live by from the Daily Mojo.
Adam Rich, a longtime friend of the program. Wow, look at you. You wearing the Hugh Hefner smoking jacket?
No. That stays in Chicago. That stays in Chicago.
I got you. You're looking good. Who knocked 20 years off of you?
Florida.
Is that what it is? You got out of Chicago.
It's amazing what it'll do to your stress level.
Yeah, just to get out of the gunfire that is Chicago. I know.
Well, you don't realize when you start to have your civil rights taken away from you, and you're always looking over your shoulder to where, what you're saying, who you're talking to. I mean, there's people down here with diverse opinions, but you can have a conversation. You can have a civil conversation with people. So, yeah.
And they don't shoot. And they don't shoot at you. That's good. That's very good.
But they do have their firearms. And they respect.
Well, there you go. See, you didn't go to the SHOT Show, did you? Have you ever been there to the SHOT Show?
I have, but not recently. Yeah.
All right. So the last time that we went, and which was the first time that we went, was that 2018, Ron?
2019. At the beginning. At the beginning.
Oh, yeah, you're right. It was
January
2019. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And because I've been to a lot of conventions over the years, over the decades. And the one thing I noticed about the SHOT Show, or one of the things, was that everyone there was so extremely polite and courteous to one another in the halls. It was weird. It was like, wow, these people are really super nice. But you start thinking about it, there was a mutual respect among all the people that were there, or there appeared to be anyway. Of course, that was before,
very much like when I was at the NRA convention. I want to say maybe it was 2016. It was in Nashville. Uh-huh. And, statistically, when the NRA comes to town, crime goes to nothing. It goes
amazing, isn't it?
And I remember at the time, was it 2016? Yeah, it was. And they had 10 of the GOP candidates there, and they say about 80% are carrying. No problem. And they all got up and spoke and did their thing. And
right.
Yeah.
It's amazing. It's amazing. People who
narrative that's put forth regarding gun rights from the left, from the progressives, and you just got to keep fighting the battle because the criminals don't care about the laws and they're going to have the guns regardless. All you're doing is disarming law-abiding citizens, period. End of story.
Exactly. Which is why it's so important that people learn, especially at a young age, about the Constitution. And I salute you for writing this book. It's called Max Learns About the Constitution. You can get this right now over at Amazon. Just do a little search and we'll tweet out the link to it. But and I want to talk about the process for the Amazon books too, because that's a really cool process. But this is a great kids book. I read it cover to cover, and I think, what did I say to you on Friday when we talked? You're probably the only kids author who was able to get the word enumeration into a kids book, which is great. Why'd you write the book?
So I'm sorry.
Why'd you write the book?
That's a great question. So I've been down here in Florida, and golf, tennis, just it's nice down here. But I recently had a complete shoulder replacement surgery, and I just was going batshit crazy. So I started writing. Mm-hmm. That's gave me the opportunity to write the book. But the reason I wrote it is because it's really important to get this to the kids, and you need to get it to the parents. And I wrote this in a very Dr. Seuss-esque manner. And there's a reason for that. So when I have 4 children, they're all grown. My youngest, twin boys, one of them is doing his residency in internal medicine at the University of Chicago, and his twin brother that's Max, and Danny is a mechanical engineer in Texas. But as all children do when they're young, they misbehave. And so you send them to their room. And you think you're going to have some peace and quiet for a period of time. But for the next half hour, an hour, all you hear while you're trying to relax is, can I come out? When can I come out? Can I come out? So early on, and I did this very age appropriate, I put the kids in there with the Gettysburg Address. I said, when you memorize the Gettysburg Address, you can come out. So
Wow.
they had time, and so they learned this. And it actually proved useful because when they were in 7th grade, they were studying the Civil War and Gettysburg Address.
Nice.
So one time I sent the kids in. I sent my oldest, who is a nurse up at Cook County Hospital in Chicago, sent him in with the preamble to the Constitution. So when you memorize this, you can come out of your room. I walk in the room. He's following me right back. I said, "Where the hell are you going?" He said, "Oh, I know this," and he sang it from the Schoolhouse Rock videos.
Oh, nice. Nice.
It kept with him, and I'm like, "This is the way you got to get to the kids. You got to teach them." I used to sit with the kids and read them Dr. Seuss books. I can read Green Eggs and Ham, The Cat in the Hat. So there's that rhyming function, and it stays with them. So I developed a storyline, and I took out the thesaurus, and I wrote the book about the Constitution. And I incorporated his dog. His dog's name is Oliver. But I wanted something.
So why is the dog is Olivax? Why did?
Because I wanted something to rhyme with Max. It was tough. I wanted to stay, no real good reason for that other than his dog's name's Oliver. So that's
Gotcha.
where we went.
Okay.
Now
That makes perfect sense.
I wrote a second book with about his twin brother Danny, and Danny learns, and I should be getting the files back from the formatter any day now. And that's Danny learns about the Declaration of Independence. And that storyline, Danny and his dog, Dookie, Danny Dookie, they meet with Thomas Jefferson, Benjamin Franklin, John Adams, Robert Livingston, and Roger Sherman, right? The five of the committee that wrote the Declaration of Independence, and they helped write the Declaration of Independence. And I do it in the same manner.
Cool.
With, and that should be same style of artwork, and they're short, but they tell a story, and So that's why I did this.
So so you go over the Constitution and the amendments, and each one of the amendments is explained on a kid's level. In kids' terms, and it's the Eighth Amendment prohibits the government from imposing excessive bails or fines, and from cruel and unusual punishment. Here's the thing about when I was reading, I thought that each one of these points is a great chance for the parent reading it to the kid to stop, and because the kid's going to say what's excessive bail, and things like that. There's a lot of points in here where it gives a parent the opportunity. Because I think a lot of parents do want to teach their kids about the Constitution, but it's how do you teach a kid about something that, although the Constitution is basically simple, how do you go about it? And you've laid out a great kind of a format for parents to be able to do that with their kids.
And how many parents actually know the 10 amendments under the Bill of Rights? And it's right there.
Right.
It's a lot like the 10 Commandments. You know them, but okay, what's the fourth commandment? Honor thy mother and father. Which is number 5. What is the Second Amendment? What is the Fourth Amendment? So parents also can learn very as they're reading to their kid. Oh yeah. No, that was by design. Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking.
I love it. By the way, is that a dog with a horse bark in the background, or is it a duck?
No, we have a lot of wildlife here. If it were earlier in the morning, you might even hear the whippoorwill. I've got a couple, but they're more nocturnal. But there's a lot of birds here back. Yeah,
it sounds like you're somewhere in the Amazon.
I'm butted up against a forest preserve, and Every once in a while, I'll see a panther come by, bobcats, deer, turtles.
There's,
We have
there's a
an
fence, right?
alligator. No fence. No.
You see a
This is
panther come by?
I have.
Okay.
I did.
All right.
I saw a panther several months ago. We do have black bears in the area. I have not seen one, but we get a notice if there's a bear sighting. So yeah.
Gotcha. I do. Again,
You know what,
Max
Brad?
learns about
Adam,
what,
we
Ron?
need to find a donor that can send Adam some money so he can send about 535 versions of that to Capitol Hill.
Hey, that would be great.
Oh, that's a great idea.
100 to Senate and 435 to Congress. Oh, and maybe about 10 or 12 to the White House. But
Right.
You know what I'm in a pretty affluent community, first of all, are you familiar with Seed to Table, Alfie Oakes? No.
No.
God, you guys got
We don't get out
He-
much.
big patriot. He really did a lot of nice things during in the aftermath of Ian, opening up his store 24 hours. It's a grocery store. It's a grocery store where you walk in, you can get a glass of wine, you can go to the meat department, they'll cook it up for you. There's restaurants in there, but he's a true patriot. And after Ian, he secured must have done something to secure a ton of bandwidth, because none of us had any. We didn't have phone service, we didn't have power, we didn't have internet,
Right.
and people came from everywhere just to use just to use the internet to get to the
Oh, wow.
outside world. Yeah, but
Nice.
in any event,
I think you told me about that.
speaking to a few people there and see if they'll take it. But I'm hoping that perhaps someone will take a look at this and say, I'm going to order this for my kid's school. And I'm also in the process of having some hard copies printed up. So it's this is it's paperback, but
Right.
and
But it's like the paperbacks I remember as a kid. I mean, it's the same thing, and it's a great format. The way that you went about getting this published, and I think there's a lot of would-be authors out there who, because I wasn't aware of the process when you do it with Amazon, is that you can there are I guess there are ways that Amazon will help you when you're writing something like this with artwork and things like that, right?
Yes. Okay. So first of all, I'm
Tools.
working with I got to give them a plug. epublishinghelp.com. I wrote the manuscript. I got some help with the artwork, and then it's got to be formatted, the right typeset, and it is a little complicated. But Amazon has Amazon KDP, Kindle Direct Publishing, and you just load it up into there. You load the files up. You fill out the form online, and you submit it. The people at Amazon look, make sure the files are good. They give you, they send you back an author copy, a proof, and then they put it out there. And if people want to purchase it, they can go on Amazon, type in the title, and it's $8. It's not. I mean, it's $8. That's a woodpecker.
Right.
Sounds like a jackhammer.
It does sound like a jackhammer. Wow.
Yeah.
It's very simple. And we ordered one here back on wherever it was, the 13th of April. It came here, I think the next day. We got it the day after. So you get it fast, and it's a reasonable price. And more importantly, I think the end result is hopefully kids learning more about the Constitution, obviously.
Yeah. So on the front of this book, see the three guys here? Who could they possibly who put forth the argument to say, hey, we gotta pass this Constitution? These are the guys that wrote the Federalist Papers. So on the back, I put a little blurb about the cover. You want to read it? You want me to read it?
You read it. I can't see
This
right now.
is
I don't
about
have
the
my
cover.
glasses on.
So,
right.
This is John Jay, Alexander Hamilton, and James Monroe, right?
Mm-hmm.
The guys who wrote the Federalist Papers under the pseudonym Publius, right?
Right.
So So, and this is the style in which I wrote the book. So, let me tell you a tale quite grand of some clever folks and their great demand to write a constitution, a document true for a brand new country, red, white, and blue. The Federalist Papers, they did pen, Madison, Hamilton, and Jay, amen. Their words were wise, their ideas bright. They helped America take its first flight. The Founding Fathers knew what they needed, and with their words, they finally succeeded. So come along and join the fun. Learn what Max learns. Come, everyone.
I love it. You wrote that.
Yeah,
That's
you get the
very nice.
thesaurus
And-
out. You start getting some rhyming. Listen, I'm no Hawthorne, but maybe. I mean, I got a cigar out. I got a cigar going. I got a glass of rum.
Right. I think it's wonderful. And again, I didn't know what to expect because I know you've never written a book before.
Yeah,
that I'm aware of.
I wrote, yeah, right. Oh, I see the wink.
Yeah.
No, that was the
For
one
kids.
that Gwen and I wrote together.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Yes.
That was
Exactly.
Yeah.
But not for kids.
No, the other one was that's a great story as well. I can't believe that. That's it's called Stop Complaining, Make Your Own Luck.
Yep.
And it's about making
I
small
remember, how many
changes.
years ago has that been now?
I think we wrote that in 2016. But the funny part of that is we had the manuscript, we had everything done, and I'm in my office up in Chicago, and Gwen, my wife, is in the kitchen, and I said we need a title for the book, and she says, "Stop complaining, make your own luck." I take my glasses off, and walk out. I said, "You realize we're Jewish? Stop complaining. That's just right under whining."
Right.
I said, "No one will believe it." She pointed at me. She said, "That's the name of the book." I said, "What's the name of the book?"
Ta-da.
Name of the book. Stop complaining, make your own luck.
Can you still get that on Amazon? I didn't mean look.
You can. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Excellent.
Yeah, that's
Well,
as well. Yeah. But
again,
this
kudos.
is really this, and then the next one, the one that I should hopefully have on Amazon in the next week or so, about the Declaration of Independence. So,
Very cool.
yeah.
Great job, Adam. Seriously, really nice job with it. And Ron is right. Maybe we can get one of our listeners to send a bunch of them to Congress. I mean, it's unfortunate that they need to learn about the Constitution, but it's apparent that they do.
I've read it. They know about it. I think they know about it. They just don't want to enforce, or they don't want to acknowledge it.
Right.
What we need to do is get to the kids. You need to get to the children. We need to start to plant these seeds and start teaching them about this. A few years ago, I was volunteering at the Jordan Community School in Rogers Park up in Chicago. And I'd go in once or twice a week and I'd help the kids with reading and writing. And every once in a while, I got to give a civic lesson. And this is 100% Black and Hispanic. And I started lecturing about our Black founding patriots, guys like Cheswell Wentworth, Prince Estabrook, the two Black Americans that fought along Washington at the Battle of Princeton. They're supposed to be depicted in that Lutz painting of Washington crossing the Delaware. But they don't teach this. I mean,
No.
there's a story to be told. Tell the story. And that's what needs to be done. Yeah.
And you've taken the first step in doing that. Again, it's Max Learns About the Constitution. You can find it over at Amazon. Just put it in the search.
The First Amendment
Did you know that you have rights? The Constitution says you do.
lives here. Watch and listen at thedailymojo.com.